What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Andrew, and this week we're just hanging out with the two female Chinese water dragons, and we're just interacting with them today because I'm down here and just want to spend time with them. So this is Nessi, our younger female water dragon, and that's Yoshi in the back right there, which is the older one. And we're just really hanging out today because this is normally what I do, and I want to show you guys part of my daily routine. Just spending time with them. This is one of the best things you could do to socialize your animals, is just spend time with them. So I kind of look over their cage to see if there's anything wrong with it. There's anything out of place. Sometimes I check this nesting box to see if they did lay eggs, which it doesn't look like they did. And I just kind of talk to them, touch them a little bit. They are hungry. Tomorrow is their feeding day, so they might be a little food motivated. You can see them perking up already. They kind of know when I come in here I'm gonna feed them. Yoshi Yoshi is the one that I've had longer, so she does recognize me pretty well. Nessi, not so much, but she's definitely not aggressive in any way. I have noticed with water dragons, they really do like chin scratches. I don't know why that was such a hard word to say, but they do enjoy it, and they kind of do sometimes close their eyes a little bit. I'll grab Yoshi right now. Now Yoshi completely trusts me, so I'm not really worried about grabbing her in any specific way. You can see she has a little bit of shed right here on the front of her nose. It's not really ready to come off, so I'll just leave it. So Nessi is about 2 years and Yoshi's about 5 now, so you can see the size difference. Yoshi is a little bit more mature as opposed to Nessi, that's a little smaller. And obviously, Nessi has a tail. But you can, for the newer viewers, you can go back on my videos and see what happened. So their water is still pretty dirty. Our filter on this side actually just broke, so we are setting up a new filter. So don't mind the water, it's kind of gross. Needs to be cleaned, so I'm going to be doing that today, maybe after this video. But we can kind of go over this whole cage quickly for the newer viewers. I have the basking ledge here that I custom made. It looks like rock, which is actually really cool. And a couple of other ledges for them to sit on. Yoshi does like this one in there, it's kind of like a cave. And Nessi just sits on top of there in the corner. They don't do a lot right now. I think they're kind of waiting for me to pick them up. So I'm just going to kind of sit here and talk about them. Normally when I come in here, I just talk to them. It's a great way of getting them to be kind of social with you, get used to your presence. You can hear Toothless's humidifier going off there. And I look for things in the cage I'm going to update. I really like this back wall. It's a really cool feature of the cage. And sometimes I go over this cage to see what I can improve on it. Now you can see these are both females compared to Rex, which is the male. Their spikes are a lot smaller on their back than the males have. Their spikes along their neck aren't as pronounced, or their crest, if you will. Tail's not as long, and obviously their bodies are not as big. And this is a really big differences between males and females. If you're not sure if your Chinese water dragon is a male or female, it really depends on age. They're really hard to sex at a young age. So you're really not going to get that out of a young or hatchling water dragon. It really comes with sexual maturity, which happens around 18 months old. Now, 2 females can be kept together if you're thinking about cohabitating your lizards. It really depends on the temperament of both your lizards. They will kind of fight for dominance. I've seen it with these 2 by mostly arm waving, which is basically just a weird motion, and also by chasing, not really by biting. If you want to keep a male and female together, I suggest more room than this. I don't think it was really an aggression that Rex did with Yoshi's tail, but I would just keep them separate. 2 males obviously can't go together. They're very territorial. They will fight, so you can't keep them together. And obviously, if you keep a male and female together, they're gonna breed, so be prepared for that. If you're not, then don't put them together. Simple solution, I guess. The light right here, I'm just going over the cage really quickly because we haven't done that in a while. The light right here is off. We kind of removed it. It is warm enough down here. They don't need a secondary light. So Yoshi, being the oldest one, does trust me out of the 2. She's not the best at climbing anymore because of the loss of her tail. When lizards lose a major part of their body, they aren't as confident anymore. And Yoshi really doesn't like climbing that much. She's not as, not acrobatic, but it isn't as confident in the trees as Nessi is. Nessi has her tail, so she has that counterbalance. And Yoshi doesn't. She has trouble swimming at times, jumping from branch to branch. But she handles it pretty well. Hopefully you guys can see her. I can't really see her. So that's just the main difference. When they lose a part of their tail, it is a major problem for them. But in captivity, it's not really a problem. Almost dropped her there. But the vet did a great job of sewing it back up. She doesn't obviously like me touching it. But this is really what I do. It's basically spending time with your lizards, talking to them. It's the same way you would treat a dog, let's say. Like, you just talk to them, let them know your presence. We'll go over, well, we guess we kind of went over how to socialize these guys. It's really not that hard. They do bond with humans quite well. Nessie over there. She's still a little skittish. I can pick her up. I can go in there and pick her up. She doesn't really like it as much, as you can see. But once you hold her and she's finished struggling, she's relatively fine. Should we try it again? I'm going to try it again. I'm just going to come like that. And she'll freak out just a little bit. So she can be held. It's not her favorite thing. But what really helps is the picking her up to feed her. So you can see they're quite fast while climbing. They're sharp claws, which I don't know if I can zoom into these, but they do have very sharp claws. So they can climb quite well, as opposed to Bowser that has very dull claws that doesn't like climbing. So anyway, you got to see Bowser, which is always a interesting time. So I do really like hanging out with these guys. Obviously, Yoshi was the first animal here, so she's been with me for quite some time. But they do really grow on you. They do have their own personalities. Some of them are quite tame, and others don't like to be handled. So it really depends on how you raise them. It's really up to the animal at the end of the day if they're really confident with you or they don't want to be confident with you. But these guys are fantastic pets as long as you have the room. It's incredible how they can hang on to the branch with only 3 legs. Like, it's pretty cool how they just sit there. And sometimes they'll actually sit there with two legs like dangling. So it's really kind of cool how they can just perch themselves like that. And this is what I like doing. I like learning from these guys. Learning their behavior is always a very fun experience for me. You learn how to read them, you learn what they like, what they don't like, and you can kind of feel their personalities after a while, which is really cool. They don't look like they do much, but they actually do move around quite a bit. These guys are very active. Obviously not with a camera pushed in their face. But they are fantastic. I'm hoping I can capture some mating behavior out of these guys in the near future. Hopefully that will come out in a good video so that you guys can actually see that. It's a really interesting concept, and to be honest, not a lot of people have seen that before. So when I go over their cage, water dragons really like to use the bathroom in their water, so it makes your cleanup of the rest of the cage fairly easy, because they don't have poos out and pees. They really don't do that outside the water. So it's mainly you need a strong filter, obviously not on, and you just have to spot clean a lot, which I haven't done today, and I guess the filter hasn't been working for many days now. So I'm going to kind of put this filter on, this new one. Hopefully the tubes fit through the holes, but anyway, I will do that, and I'll clean out the water tomorrow. And these guys will eat tomorrow. Look at that, that's stuck in the screw. Never noticed that before. Have not. And the turtles are doing really well. Bowser obviously doing really well. And yeah, that's about it. It's just mainly doing this a few times a day, maybe once a day at the very minimum. But they do kind of socialize fairly easy. I can pet them. They really don't have a problem. Yoshi in particular has always been, you know, very friendly. But yeah, anyway, very short video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.